October. We're counting down the Audi across the top. They've done the job. Darryl O'Young is bringing it home. And this will be back-to-back wins for him, which is a phenomenal performance in his first 2 starts. We saw Nick Percat win the V8 race last year, first time in the 1000. He's going to have to match the level in October because a new bar has been set by Darryl O'Young. And don't forget Christopher Mies, the young German, the 22-year-old winner last year. He's been an Audi driver for a couple of years. He's a guy you're going to hear a lot more of in World GT racing. GT3, it is the way to go. This is good stuff, and we're seeing just a taste of it here at Bathurst this weekend.
We had United Autosports here this weekend. Unfortunately, their driver, Frank Yu, had a fairly substantial crash at turn 2 earlier on in the day. Only got 59 laps in the books for that Audi, but they've purchased 2 McLaren MP4 12C GT3 cars. It's the car of the moment. They've already committed them to a race in Abu Dhabi late this year in December. Who knows, maybe they'll come back with a 2-car McLaren team here at Mount Panorama. We've seen a McLaren here before, unofficially, fastest car ever. So they've got a bit of history at this place. We'll have to wait and see what they can do. Certainly it looks as if there will be more cars next year. International interest through the roof. And we've clocked over the 12-hour mark. This should be the last lap in the Almirall Bathurst 12-hour. 269 complete, 270th lap for Darryl O'Young, who will find himself back-to-back winner at the Almirall Bathurst 12-hour with Christopher Mies alongside him and Christy Ernst, the young German who joined the team this year. Mark Basseng was unavailable due to a scheduling commitment, couldn't get down to Australia, so they found this young guy who's been part of the Audi team since 2010, and he's going to win Bathurst on his first go, which is pretty special in anyone's books.
You'd have to be encouraged too from the form from the Mercedes squad. Yesterday when they started talking that they were going to play the fuel game, I thought, oh gee, they just don't have the pace. They might get blown out of the water by the Audis and the Ferraris, but the Ferraris, one of them in fact did not last. It didn't really ever look like it. Had a problem early and it couldn't stay in the game, but Mercedes-Benz, they've stood up. They've challenged Audi here at Bathurst. They're not going to quite get there, but it still will be a great job. And remember that they've run 4 drivers into this car. They had the American Brett Curtis do 1 stint in the middle of the day. Tibby Slade did a great job. Peter Hackett, we know, knows these cars really, really well. They should hold their heads high. They've done a great job today to take on the might of Audi.
Darryl O'Young brings the Kangaroo Audi across the top of Mount Panorama. There are Audi flags all around this place. They've done an incredible job of activating their support of this race, not just last year, but this year as well. If anything, bigger and better than ever. They have had to work through so much today to get to where they are now. This has been a torture test over 12 hours and 1,600 odd kilometres at Mount Panorama.
And the thing that just you cannot forget, this car was backwards, buried in the sand at STP corner for a time. Somehow they got it out on the lead lap. They got back in the game in the space of 40 seconds. The number 2 car was ripping refuelling rigs down in pit lane. It hasn't all gone smoothly, but they've been in the right spot at the right time, and he's on his way home.
This car was about 30 seconds away from losing the motor race, because had they not got that car out of the sand trap in time, game over. Lost a lap, the Mercedes would be in front. That's how quickly things can change at Bathurst and in the Almirall Bathurst 12-hour. Today is Audi's day, though. They're going to win it back-to-back for Audi.
Takes it steady to put a lap on the 5th place Porsche. It has been a long day. 270 laps at Bathurst, 1,677 kilometres of racing, and Audi are going to go back-to-back in the Almirall Bathurst 12-hour. Darryl O'Young goes back-to-back at the mountain, and the R8 LMS is on top of Mount Panorama.
Unbelievable victory to come back for the 2nd year in a row against such a strong field. 150% better than last year. The depth of the outright class this year has been absolutely amazing. To come back and do what they have done and win this race by over a minute against strong competition from a very, very competitive Mercedes team, which will be brought home by Jeroen Bleekemolen. They're a minute and 16 behind. This has just been a monumental performance.
The final run down Conrod Straight for the SLS. Of course, don't forget, there's 6 classes of cars here, all making it to the line. Everyone's achieved in some way, shape or form today. And there's a bit of form finishing that will go on too for the teams that have got a couple of cars left in the order. Dry line emerging late in this race. We've been through so much bad weather. We started really quite nicely at 6:15. There's Christopher Mies, back-to-back champs for Audi. Congratulations from Craig Lowndes. Tough day for the boys in car number 2, but they're part of the team. They're part of this result. Great job for Black Falcon and Erebus Racing. The Dutchman will bring it home out of the final turn. second on the mountain. First time in the SLS in the 12-hour. Bring it back next year. They are a big chance.
Peter Hackett said when he launched this program, I've got my eyes on Audi at Bathurst. He's finished second, great result, and I'm sure they'll be back. And there's the Ferrari. This is a team, Clearwater Racing, coming into the weekend that said, if we finish top 8, we'll be over the moon. They're going to be on the podium, third outright in the outright class.
They'll be in another stratosphere with that if they
amazing.
judge that. Just behind, the Astra is 7th overall. Chris Pither drove it to the line. The V8 Ute champion wins in the STP production class E. But it's all about Audi. They have picked up the win. Audi first, Mercedes-Benz second, Ferrari third, and fourth spot will go to the Porsche. Nathan Tinkler, Stephen Johnson and Stephen Richards. They win Class B. So after the longest day at Mount Panorama, 12 hours is done, and Audi have won 270 laps. The final margin was 1 minute and 13.28 seconds. Ferrari third, Porsche in fourth and fifth. The Nissan is sixth and wins in Class C. We'll be back to the mountain shortly to meet and catch up with the winners. Well, the Amaral Bathurst 12-hour is over. Audi have conquered the mountain for the second year in a row. Mercedes-Benz and Ferrari round out the podium. Let's go down to Grant Boyden with the presentation.
You're just waiting for the guys to come through. Let's go straight into it, presenting the trophy for third spot here. The Mayor of Bathurst, Councillor Greg Westman, and the rest of the team, not just here at the moment, but let's go across to the car that has taken out third spot. Car 33, Mok Weng's son, Craig Baird and Matt Griffin. And we're going to talk to Wang.
Pleasure to be at Bathurst. You enjoyed the track? Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Wang, let's have a chat. Congratulations to you. What a great result.
Thanks a lot. It was a very hard day for us, but I'm extremely happy with this result. I think the boys over here deserve most of the credit. They drove really hard all day. It's been tough on us because we're not that great in the wet, and it was wet most of the race, and we said, you know, we're going to drive conservatively, keep it on the circuit and try to get the finish.
Well, you never gave up and you finished in third. Congratulations to you all. From Clearwater Racing, give them a big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Finishing in second and presenting this trophy, the honourable member for Bathurst, Paul Toole. Finishing in second, car 20 of Jeroen Bleekemolen, Peter Hackett and Tim Slade. Well, let's have a chat, guys. Well done. Congratulations to you. Not a bad debut and not a bad trip to the mountain.
No, definitely not. I hope to be back here because it was great. I drove pretty much close to the maximum driving time, which was great because I want to do as many laps here as possible. We came very close. It wasn't as close as my second place in Daytona, where I lost out only 9 seconds to the win. This was just about a minute, I think, but we'll be back and try to win it. We should be.
Podium just a sweep?
I mean, yeah, it's a great effort. The whole team did a great job. All the guys, they prepared the car well. We didn't have the pace. I mean, the Audis were a bit faster out of the corners and on the straights. In the wet, we were pretty able to match them, but yeah, generally I think their car was a bit stronger. The balance of performance is in their favor here at this race, but we'll try to catch up with them at the next one.
Congratulations, Erebus Racing finishing in second in car 20. Presenting the trophy for our outright victors, Mick King from Armour Oil. Now taking out the win, Krista Joens, Christopher Mees and Darryl O'Young. Darryl, just come over and have a chat. A great result for you and the team, and Audi making the mountain its own.
Well, it just doesn't feel right holding this trophy by myself right now because, you know, all the guys did so much work, the whole Team Phoenix, Audi, Quattro GmbH, my 2 teammates did a fantastic job, Jons and Christopher Mees. So, I mean, it's been an adventurous race, and I'm glad we came back and able to help Audi do a repeat.
I know that you respect the team for the effort they've put in, but the team told me that you personally had done a phenomenal performance for the entire team under very difficult conditions. How did you find the mountain?
Well, I wouldn't say that's true at all. I mean, everybody had different conditions, and some people had Jones, I call him Jones, Christopher Jones. He had slicks in the rain, and there was aquaplaning with the rain tires for me, and Chris was going from dry to wet. I mean, everybody had different scenarios, and it was a really tough result.
Well, here they are, the boys. Congratulations, ladies and gentlemen, to Phoenix Racing. That is your podium for the 2012 Armour All Bathurst 12 Hour.
And don't you think they're happy? Christopher Meese might be a big night in Bathurst tonight, I reckon, with the Audi boys. They've gone back-to-back, 2 in a row for O'Young and Meese. First time for Christy Jones. That is a great job. On the lead lap, we had 2 cars, Audi and Mercedes-Benz, Ferrari in third. It's all about difference. It's all about different machinery, and we certainly saw it today in the Armour All Bathurst 12 Hour. We'll be back next year to do it all over again. This event continues to get bigger and better. 18 cars at the end of the race were classified as finishers. There were 2 on the lead lap. There were 6 different class winners. Another cracker at the mountain.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. It's hard to give driver of the day to anyone except that outright combination for what they've been through. And they came within 30 or 40 seconds of losing this motor race today when they were backed into the sand trap at STP corner, coming onto the Armour All pit straight here at Mount Panorama. The race was almost over. If they had been there for 30 more seconds, they'd lose a lap and the Mercedes would have won. But that's how knife edge this weekend has been all 3 days long. There's a lot of celebrations going on. Tickets to the Armour All party, the Audi party tonight would be at a premium right about now, I think. Place to be.
7 different manufacturers have finished in the top 10 places. A range of different cars from all the different classes. We saw the Nissan win Class C. The boys in the Astra won Class E. The HSV got home to win Class D and finish in the top 10 as well. It has been another classic, Armour All Bathurst 12 Hour. One of the longest days at the office, but a great way to kick off our domestic motor racing calendar, and it will just get bigger and better in 2012 for the rest of the year, and the mountain, of course, in October with the 1000k race. But it's been another classic here on Speed. We've enjoyed bringing it to you. Here are the results at the end of 12 hours and 270 laps. Audi win Class A, the Pedigree GT3 outright class. Good job, Nathan Tinkler, Steve Johnson and Steve Richards. They win Class